Chaos. Critical services interrupted here at the Supreme Court due to power outage. Stay tuned to our news tonight for more details.
And then opposition is looking for relevance though. The opposition do what oppositions do. They moan and they complain. We are about progress.
Dismissed opposition questions about millions redirected from the National Investment Fund. Plus,
Bahamians in Colombia are safe tonight after a deadly earthquake rocked parts of the country. I'm Delvare Manuel. Stay tuned to our news tonight to hear their experience.
Bahamians marked safe in the midst of the latest natural disaster in Colombia. And then in our news at 7:30, a mother waits for answers over the death of her son in police custody. Our news live at 7 starts now. Welcome to our news live at 7. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Jerome Sawyer in for Megan Shepherd. Chaos at the downtown courts after 4 days of power outages shut down at least 8 courts in the Ansbach building, while the central police station and nearby businesses are also left on generator life support. We'll get to that story in about 5 minutes, but first, a multi-million-dollar question is at the center of the latest political battle between the government and the opposition. The National Investment Fund's balance dropped by more than $265 million in just 3 months. And now, opposition leader Michael Pintard wants to know why. Acting Prime Minister Chester Cooper questioned about the redirected funds today that came under his ministry at the time. Our Chinasa Outen leads us off tonight.
Opposition is looking for relevance though. The opposition do what oppositions do. They moan and they complain. We are about progress.
That was Acting Prime Minister Chester Cooper, who says the opposition is simply looking for something to criticize. But questions are being raised over more than $265 million in the National Investment Fund, and the government and the opposition are offering very different accounts of what happened to the money. The fund's balance stood at $265.3 million at the end of December 2025, but by the end of March this year, that balance had fallen to just $200,000. Opposition leader Michael Pintard says the dramatic drop demands answers, including whether the money was transferred into and withdrawn from the fund in accordance with the law. The government, however, says the money did not simply vanish. Director of Communications in the Office of the Prime Minister, Latre Ramming, took to X to defend the government's position, saying the funds were primarily used to support the government's airport infrastructure program, a program that at the time fell under Cooper's Ministry of Tourism, Investments and Aviation. But when pressed further, Cooper distanced himself from the issue.
The NIF is a matter for the Ministry of Finance. I will leave comments to them in relation to the NIF.
Pintard says he plans to continue escalating the matter, bringing it before the Public Accounts Committee, and even seeking legal advice on what action can be taken to force the government to provide more information.
Now the question remains, was the $265 million drop in the funds properly authorized, used, and documented? Reporting for Our News, I'm Chinasa Outen.
All right, thanks a lot, Chinasa. Well, a travel concierge and her husband are facing charges after a vacation allegedly failed to materialize. 58-year-old Andrea Cox and her husband, 74-year-old Reginald Cox, pleaded not guilty to charges of stealing by reason of service when they appeared before Acting Chief Magistrate Ancella Evans. Prosecutors allege the couple got $5,000 from Tanya Astwood on November 28th back in 2023. Cox is also accused of receiving an additional $28,805 from Astwood between January of 2023 and March in 2024. The couple was granted bail, with Cox's bail set at $8,000 and her husband at $5,000. They are due back in court on October 7th, when they are expected to receive a trial date. Police investigating an armed robbery reportedly occurring yesterday in the Bamboo Town area. Now, according to reports, just after 5 p.m., the victim was riding a black electric motorcycle on Antonio Drive when occupants of a silver Dodge van pulled up alongside him and forced him off the road. A dark-skinned, slim male wearing a long-sleeved striped shirt and blue jeans allegedly exited the passenger side of that car and pointed a firearm at the victim. The suspect is said to have questioned him about the motorcycle and money and threatened to abduct him. Fleeing for his safety, the victim abandoned the motorcycle and left the area. He later reported the incident to the East Street South police station. Well, power problems now causing major issues for a critical part of government. Up to now, the rolling blackouts have been more of an inconvenience and financial setback. But on Tuesday, the wheels of justice came to a halt as an ongoing power failure in the downtown area brought several courts and related services to a halt. Our Joshua Williams is on the story tonight.
Critical services here at the Supreme Court brought to a halt. Power outages affecting parts of downtown has this building closed, and it's been going on for several days now. A source alerted Our News to the ongoing outage on Tuesday morning as the blackout to the Eastern Bank Lane building entered a fourth straight day. Since Friday afternoon, the Ansbacher building has been running off a generator with constant refuelings as the blackout hours stretch into days. The situation became critical late Tuesday morning when the generator malfunctioned despite attempts by technicians to repair it. This meant several courts and related services had to stop. Our News cameras witnessing the building now in darkness as attorneys and other staff exited, some visibly sweating. From the operational side, judges had to suspend trials in some cases for a second day, adding more pressure to the case backlogs in an already busy judicial calendar. In total, 5 judges and 3 registrars ceased operations. The Swift Justice building that houses an additional 4 judges as well as a criminal registry, all out of service. In total, 8 judges and 3 registrars unable to carry out their judicial functions. But the situation got even more tenuous when we learned the central police station less than a block away was also without power. It was hard to miss the mobile unit parked outside the station's front door, also operating with a portable generator. We understand incoming inmates scheduled for court appearances had to be rerouted, with virtual proceedings moved to the remand center at the Bahamas Department of Corrections for some criminal and bail matters. Meanwhile, in the downtown area, all around, the roar of generators from surrounding businesses. The nearby Cafe Matisse, a popular downtown eatery, was among the many affected businesses running off of generator power since Friday. Meanwhile, we understand court officials were also kept in the dark up to Tuesday as to what was behind the outage or when power might be restored. Their attempts to contact Bahamas Power and Light for answers leading nowhere. It is believed the blown transformer on East Hill Street may be a part of the problem. In a statement, the Court Services Council Tuesday confirming the courts will reopen Wednesday. Those with pending court matters should report to their respective courts for new dates. Reporting for Our News, I'm Joshua Williams.
Moving forward now, a deadly earthquake in Colombia is hitting close to home, with Bahamians among those who felt the powerful tremors. The 7.4 magnitude quake struck western Colombia Monday morning, killing more than 100 people and causing widespread damage. And while the search for survivors continues in the hardest hit areas, Bahamians vacationing miles away in Medellin sharing what it was like when the shaking started. Our Delvado Emmanuel has that story.
Bahamians vacationing in Colombia are safe tonight after a deadly quake rocked parts of the country. For Kyle Ferguson and his family, what was supposed to be a fun time quickly turned into a frightening experience.
The Fergusons had only arrived in Colombia Sunday night, but by early Monday morning, they were shaken awake. A powerful 7.4 magnitude earthquake struck western Colombia, with its epicenter near San Jose del Palmar, a rural community in the Chocó province, about 250 miles west of capital Bogotá. The quake was felt across several major cities, including Medellin, where Ferguson and his family were staying.
My whole family was still sleeping. It definitely did wake us up. At first, you just kind of wonder if it's just the building, if it's just some road work or something happening outside.
What Ferguson and his family felt was a part of a deadly disaster unfolding across western Colombia, leaving thousands of Colombians scrambling for safety. More than 200 people have been reported dead, with the death toll expected to rise as rescue teams continue searching through damaged and collapsed buildings. Nearly 5,000 homes have also been damaged, while electricity, water, and communication services were disrupted in some of the hardest hit areas. But miles away in Medellin, Ferguson says his immediate concern was making sure his family was safe.
We know hurricanes. When it comes to earthquakes, we're not sure what's supposed to happen. If we're supposed to stay inside, we're supposed to stay outside. I guess it's smarter now to be thinking about it to be outside. So he's going to test the temperature to see what that was going to look like. We looked outside. We saw a few people standing outside, but it didn't seem like much of a panic.
Ferguson estimates the shaking lasted between 30 seconds and 1 minute. He says another group of Bahamians staying just a few minutes away also felt their building sway, but they were safe. And despite the scare, Ferguson says life in Medellin didn't come to a standstill.
It didn't seem like that people were overly affected by it, but I think it was still a conversation because some of the people on the tour talked about how they had family members who was affected, who they knew personally, who lived in those parts of town.
Now, with the news of the deadly quake making headlines back home, Ferguson says no Bahamian officials have reached out to check on them. Despite that, he says he won't let that lack of contact dampen his family vacation.
We're going to continue on as we planned and just continue to pray and hopefully that everyone stays safe and enjoy the rest of their time. Just don't believe in living in fear. Obviously, taking precautions and then being safe as much as you can.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Delvado Emmanuel.
Of course, in the midst of all of that death and destruction, we are happy that our own people are safe. We'll have the latest on that Colombia earthquake in World News a little later on in this newscast. Time now, though, for your first look at temperatures. Meteorologist Greg Thompson is standing by live in the Weather Center.
Yeah, thanks, Jerome, and a happy Tuesday evening, everybody. A carbon copy of what we had last evening. Sunny conditions on the outside, even though it's settling. 88 degrees our current temperature with a few clouds. East winds at 7 miles per hour, but your feel-like temperature, it still feels very warm. Feels like 96 degrees on the outdoors. Temperatures right now around the islands, it's 87 in Freeport, Grand Bahama, Alistown, Bimini, Great Harbour, Kingsbury Islands, and over in Governor's Harbour, Luther. We pick up 86 in Marsh Harbour, Abaco. A pair of 88s, in Nicholstown, North Andros, and here in the capital. Into the central Bahamas, warm 89 degrees in Kemps Bay, South Andros, 88, Black Point, Exuma. String of 87s, Arthurstown, Cat Island, Georgetown, Exuma, Deadman's Key, Long Island, also over in Port Nelson, Rum Key, Coburn Townsend, Salvador, 86, and into the southeast Bahamas, 85, Duncantown, Ragged Island. We pick up more 87s in Colonel Hill, Cricket Island, Delectable Bay, Acklands, Abrams Bay, Maguana, Providenciales, Tricks, and Caicos Islands, Matthewtown, Inagua. You are the warm spot down there at 88 degrees. Satellite radar composite, rinse and repeat, high pressure in charge, dry air mass in place, some Saharan dust still invading the central and southeastern islands. That's keeping us with some dry conditions. Just a few spotty showers across the Grand Bahama area. That's courtesy of some moisture just hanging out just north of the islands. But that high pressure system will stay with us throughout the remainder of the week, and that Saharan dust will continue to keep conditions dry. May see an isolated shower, but we don't expect much in terms of any significant weather. That's your first look at weather. Stick with us. We'll take a second look at our weather when we come back.
Coming up in sports, we're talking hoops, giving back to the kids, and giving buckets to some regional rivals.
My lord, Rika done turned 23 on us.
Say less. She was just a brown girl in the ring, and now she's 23? I dreaming.
Hold on. I ain't supposed to go to Paradise Games. I gotta play this early California and late Miami.
Child, you know Rika born lucky. If anyone age could fall, it's her. I think I come in with you to Paradise Games.
Well, hurry up then. These numbers ain't gonna play themselves.
I come in. Any Umbridge stars now. You know we like new things.
Paradise Games. It pays to play in paradise. Paradise Games reminds you to please game responsibly.
You or a loved one currently under medical care? Do you need affordable medical supplies? Ports International is the largest home healthcare supplier. Our compassionate team is committed to patients and their loved ones. From hospital beds to wound care, wheelchairs to walkers, Ports is a one-stop shop for your medical supplies, and we accept all major insurance. With 2 locations to serve you, at Airport Industrial Park and Shirley Street, we also ship to the Family Islands. Visit us on Facebook or call Ports at 377-1771.
Want real talk on real health issues? The Doctors Hospital podcast brings you expert insights straight from our medical team, connecting public health issues to what we do here within the health system.
From chronic disease to mental wellness, we break it down so you understand how it affects you and what we're doing to help. Listen or watch the Doctors Hospital podcast on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. Doctors Hospital Podcast, where public health becomes personal.
Rubens has career wear from Casper and Klein and LeSuit that will take you from office perfection to after-hour elegance with professional tailored suiting and business casual pieces. We have your 9-to-5 fit, even in plus. At Rubens, we believe trailblazing women need clothing that will consistently deliver powerful looks that complement their style and confidence. Rubens has workwear for the guys too, with Dockers and Nautica pants, dress shirts, and more to enhance his professional wardrobe. Get dressed up with Rubens, Harbor Bay and Palmdale Plaza, with timeless suiting made to work.
Welcome to Our Sports at 7, presented by 10th Year Seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. Let's do show. Always ready to give back as much as he gives out buckets on the rare occasion when the Hawks ain't tripping. Anyway, Buddy Hield was back at home and back in his philanthropic bag. We know the story, but can never hear it enough because it seems surreal, from 8 Mile Rock to the NBA, and always back in that same community to make sure the next generation gets their shot. Buddy Hield was back at home with his annual basketball camp, continuing the work of his foundation to develop young student athletes. Speaking of camps and giving back, the country's longest running hoop summer camp kept it going this year, and it's become a rite of passage to be able to learn from the stars that helped blaze the trail. The Jeff Rogers Summer Basketball Camp just celebrated year 38, and if that doesn't tell you this thing is a Bahamian institution, I don't know what will. Since 1987, the camp has been putting young hoopers through the work of the fundamentals and teaching them how to become better on and off the court. Now to some people that got it done on the court, 3x3 is the new wave of basketball, and we're getting in on the ground floor. Or maybe like the second or third floor, but the building ain't that high up yet. Silver on day 1, gold on day 2, that's how the teams flipped the script. The Bahamas under-23 men's and women's team both walked away with gold at the CBC 3x3 Caribbean Cup in the Cayman Islands. The men were coached by Marvin Henfield, and the team features Stevanko Jacks, Michael Munnings, Woody Ching, and Keandre Robinson. The women were coached by Donnie Culmer and had Chanel Stewart, Tania Kerr, Michelle Butler, and Jada Francis. That'll do it for Our Sports, contractually obligated to be back one more time tonight. Our News at 7:30.
When our news comes back from the break, we turn our spotlight to stories making headlines across the world. A desperate search is underway for 3,000 people missing following a powerful 7.4 quake in Colombia. A look at efforts across several cities to rescue those trapped beneath fallen buildings. And then a stark warning for the Caribbean from a UWI principal. No one is coming to save us. He's challenging the region's habit of waiting for international markets to fix themselves. We'll have details of those stories and a lot more when our news returns.
Chicken lovers, listen up! Popeyes is serving it up for you! Get 5 pieces of juicy, hand-battered, bone-in chicken for just $10. That's right, 5 pieces of Louisiana-style flavor, fried to golden, crispy perfection for only $10. But don't wait, this deal won't last forever. Head to your nearest Popeyes today and grab your 5-piece for just $10. Popeyes, where the chicken's always worth the hype. Available for a limited time only.
For 38 years, Struckham Commercial Pest Services has provided trained certified technicians while using environmentally safe, industry-standard products. Pests can devastate your business. Together, we will ensure adequate sanitation standards and safe pest exclusion methods. Uncontrolled pest problems lead to significant financial loss due to food contamination, business disruption, and stock waste. Struckham provides detailed solutions protecting your business and reputation. Struckham, #1 in pest control services.
Chicken lovers, listen up! Popeyes is serving it up for you! Get 5 pieces of juicy, hand-battered, bone-in chicken for just $10. That's right, 5 pieces of Louisiana-style flavor, fried to golden, crispy perfection for only $10. But don't wait, this deal won't last forever. Head to your nearest Popeyes today and grab your 5-piece for just $10. Popeyes, where the chicken's always worth the hype. Available for a limited time only.
This is our news. Welcome back. We turn our attention now to stories making headlines across the world. Rescue teams pushed back into dozens of cities and towns in western Colombia Tuesday after a powerful 7.4 quake left more than 3,000 people missing and many trapped under rubble. Local officials in Cali, Pereira, Chocó and Manizales report at least 179 dead ahead of a federal count and about 1,600 buildings damaged or collapsed. Soldiers, rescuers, and neighbors are handing heavy concrete piece by piece, racing to save lives. President de la Espriella has deployed the military to Chocó, promising the region will never be the land of the forgotten as his new administration faces its first major test. Russia has released an American veteran, Robert Gilman, who spent more than 4 years in prison on controversial charges and was reportedly gravely ill. Advocates reported that Gilman was being sent to a U.S. military hospital in Texas for medical and psychological care. He was to be joined there by family members who were traveling to be with him. The 32-year-old teacher and former Marine was detained in 2022 and served sentences that were ultimately extended to around 10 years after convictions for assault in custody. Global Reach's Eric Lebson said the group helped secure his transfer, and his sister credited President Trump and Senator Ed Markey for helping to bring him home. Congo's Ebola outbreak has reached another grim milestone. At least 2,000 people have died amid the 4,381 confirmed cases, making this the fastest growing outbreak on record. Authorities say the death toll surged far more quickly than in 2014 and 2016, hitting 2,000 in weeks that followed just 3 weeks after the first 1,000, as conflict, bad roads, and work stoppages hampered aid to remote communities. Ituri, the epicenter, is seeing clinical trials start for the rare Bundibugyo virus, which, unlike many prior outbreaks, has no approved vaccine or treatment. Medical expert Dr. Jean-Marie Akindebo says that the 2,000 death toll is alarming and urges doubled response efforts. This is already the second largest outbreak in history. A stark warning for the Caribbean from Professor Justin Robinson. No one is coming to save us. He said that at the Central Bank of Barbados' annual review seminar. The UWI principal said he has spent a year annoying the Caribbean with that message, challenging the region's habit of waiting for international markets to fix themselves. With global trade fracturing into competing blocs, he urged a fundamental psychological shift towards self-reliance and genuine regional unity. Robinson reminded audiences that the global trading system was built on other people's terms. He warned that when large economies face barriers, they lose efficiencies. When small islands do, they risk viability. The effects are already arriving in higher prices for food, fuel, and daily goods. His message to the entire region: strengthen local production, deepen Caribbean cooperation, and take control of our financial destiny. And still to come on our news tonight at 7:30.
Tonight on our news, we hear the story of a grieving mother who says she wants justice after her son died in police custody months ago. Stay tuned for more details.
A story you will see only on our news. And then Central Andros residents are up in arms tonight, claiming the temporary service for the Fresh Creek Bridge closure is plagued with delays and breakdowns. That's coming up when our news returns.
Comfort Suites Paradise Island is the best-kept secret in the Bahamas. Located directly next door to the Atlantis Resort, you'll receive all the privileges of an Atlantis guest with all the benefits of a Comfort Suite stay. Enjoy everything Atlantis has to offer, including Aquaventure Water Park, plus all the amenities of Comfort Suites. Free Wi-Fi, free breakfast daily, and kids stay, play, and eat free. Visit ComfortSuitesPI.com.
Like, what you grabbing all these pizzas, boy?
Wait, Marcos, wait. We have a special on all the large one-topping pizzas, wait.
Pineapple.
All.
Barbecue.
All. Hey, that included, but
I need the $10 special place.
How many
would you like? 20 in it. Thank you so much, man. $10, that's it. The Marcos got that deal, boy.
Making money is a lot like baking bread. This loaf, like treasury bills, was made with a recipe designed to deliver great results and to do so in a relatively short period of time, just like treasury bills. While this loaf here is more like Bahamas registered stock. It's a bit fuller, a bit crustier, and you may have to wait a little bit longer, but boy is it worth it. Treasury bills and Bahamas registered stock are both low risk, government backed, and feature maturity dates that you pick. Treasury bills and Bahamas registered stock, making money never tasted so good.
Celebrates the Bahamian spirit, from culture and craft to our reefs and jungle, preserving what's ours, shaping what's next. Like, it's in our hands.
Well, if you enjoyed tonight's newscast, to watch any of those stories and for all of today's top stories, be sure and visit ournews.bs. And that's going to do it for our news at 7. Joining us now is our Italia Hall Thomas. A look at tonight's latest headlines. Italia, happy terrific Tuesday. Eh?
Happy Tuesday. Wish it was Friday, but happy Tuesday.
Always.
We'll take that for now. Thanks so much, Jerome. Well, coming up, it's Fox Hill Day. We'll show you how the annual observance was celebrated in that community. Here are your latest headlines. A mother in search for answers. First tonight on Our News Live at 7:30.
Tonight on Our News, we hear the story of a grieving mother who says she wants justice after her son died in police custody months ago. Stay tuned for more details.
Also, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs confirms a Bahamian man has died in Haiti tonight. We hear directly from the Foreign Affairs Minister. Plus, residents on Central Andrews says a temporary ferry service meant to keep Central Andrews connected is instead creating delays, breakdowns, and daily disruptions. And later, with students returning to the classroom later this month, education officials are checking school conditions and ongoing repairs to ensure campuses are ready on the island of Grand Bahama.
I'm pleased that we appear to be on track.
This story when Our News Live at 7:30 returns.
When it comes to energy, we are a first world nation. We are absolutely a first world nation. There's no doubt about it. We are very energy intensive.
The Bahamas remains one of the most electrified countries in the region, serving communities across 17 islands through 29 power stations. This highlights both the scale of the Bahamas Power and Light Company Limited's network and the unique challenges of powering an archipelago.
Even our rural communities are electrified. Whether you go to Anagua, whether you go to Abaco, the Berry Islands, it doesn't matter what pocket you're at, everybody has access to electricity.
Supporting that level of service requires major upgrades to critical infrastructure.
So the Bahamas Power and Light, BPL, would have partnered with Bahamas Grid Company a few years ago to transform the T&D infrastructure on the island of New Providence. So along with the generation that's being supported through the IPPs or independent power producers, they will install renewable energy plants, battery energy storage systems, along with systems that can run on liquid or natural gas that again reduce the cost of electricity. All that is happening at the same time, and within a few years, we hopefully, once everything is commissioned and online, we'll see more reliable power and cheaper power as delivered to the customers.
While infrastructure upgrades are helping to strengthen the grid, technology is playing an important role in improving communication and visibility.
With GIS, we now have a platform that we can highlight areas that are on, off, areas that are being affected, and understand exactly what those issues are before a crew even goes on the ground. It gives the customer an insight to know, hey, we know that there's an issue in your area. We are working to restore your power.
The investments being made today are all a part of the new energy era, moving us towards a more reliable, sustainable, and affordable energy future for consumers all across the Bahamas.
Welcome to our news. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Natalia Hall Thomas. First tonight, several months have passed, but the pain is still real for Sherelle Larimore, whose son died in police custody at the end of last year. Police said they have nothing to hide, and a coroner's inquest could shed more light on what happened, but Larimore says she's still waiting for answers. Our Joshua Williams has more in this exclusive interview.
A grieving mother says she's still looking for justice after her son died here in police custody at the Fox Hill station back in December.
It was just a few months ago when I, along with other media colleagues, gathered outside this station. It was here that police said 35-year-old Lashiko Pratt lost consciousness as officers attempted to escort him to court. His mother, Sherelle Larimore, didn't buy that explanation at the time. And now today, standing in front of that very same station, a shirt bearing her son's face in hand, she says she's still not satisfied.
He's supposed to be safe. You're supposed to be safe when you go, you understand, lock up into the station. No one said nothing, and I'm very upset about it.
At the time, Assistant Commissioner of Police Antoine Raming told reporters the suspect resisted officers, allegedly telling them he did not want to attend court, prompting officers to subdue him. But a day later, when I interviewed Larimore, who had chosen to remain anonymous when the incident first happened, she said the circumstances raised questions for her. She pointed to police reports stating that no officers were injured during the incident, while no visible injuries were observed on her son's body. For Larimore, those details simply did not add up.
I don't know who killed my son, but all I know, the autopsy, blood force trauma to his neck.
You saw the autopsy?
Yes, yes, sir. I saw the autopsy, and it was blood force trauma to the neck.
Back in January, it was reported that Pratt's death would be the subject of a coroner's inquest. But months later, there has been no word on when that inquest will take place. His mother is now left to navigate life without her only son, a man she described as a hard-working government employee who kept to himself and simply went about his life. But even as she grieves, Larimore says she has no intention of staying silent. She says she will continue speaking out until she gets the answers and the accountability she believes her son deserves.
He didn't deserve this. Because he gone in there, healthy, young, strong, working, independent young man, gone in there healthy and came out in a body bag.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Joshua Williams.
All right, thanks so much for that, Joshua. Well, Foreign Affairs Minister Fred Mitchell says his ministry is assisting the family of a Bahamian man found dead in Haiti as Haitian authorities continue to investigate the circumstances surrounding his death. The victim has been identified as Andre Dean, a native of Exuma. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs confirmed Dean's death Monday, saying preliminary reports link it to a boating accident that occurred Sunday in waters off of Port-au-Paix in northwestern Haiti. Dean's body was reportedly discovered along with several others. While there's been speculation surrounding what may have led to the deaths, Mitchell says he will not get ahead of the investigation.
I can't speculate on what it was or it isn't. The foreign ministry, based on the information which came from the charge in Haiti, is that they're in Port-au-Paix, which is in the north of the country. There was a boating outing, and the next thing they knew, there was a report of a drowning, and these bodies showed up. One of them, it appears, was a Bahamian citizen. So we're just assisting the family in seeing how the body can be returned to the Bahamas.
As for the return of Dean's body to the country, Mitchell says the actual repatriation will generally be handled between the family and funeral directors, but the ministry can step in if there are delays or other issues involving Haitian government agencies.
If they run into issues which are related to the government of Haiti, so for example, the issuance of a death certificate, or if there is a delay in an autopsy, those kinds of things. But returning a body to the Bahamas is a matter for the family and the funeral directors. And if this were the States or Canada, the funeral director just speaks to the funeral director in the next country, they make the arrangements, the body is brought back home.
All right, switching gears now, some residents in Central Andros are up in arms tonight as they claim the temporary ferry service put in place following the closure of the Fresh Creek Bridge is causing issues on the island. Residents say what was supposed to keep people and vehicles moving has instead been plagued by delays, breakdowns, and other problems. One resident who's asked to remain anonymous speaking with Our News says the situation is disrupting daily life.
It's only almost like 100 miles from Fresh Creek Bridge to the Idols Bridge, and not one time has it either left on time or parked on time. It's either running aground or it's either running. It's just too much going on. It's breaking down at least 3 times from it came, and it just reached like yesterday. So it's just complications on complications, problem on top of problems. You got people having to either catch a boat or walk over. And then I've seen people with their suitcase. It's just a lot.
Obtained by Our News shows a boat that appears to have some challenges docking. Residents now calling for a more reliable option and better communication from officials about how long they will have to depend on the temporary service.
It's not working out at all. We need help. We're asking the government to help. We don't know who to call on right now because the ferry that they send, I don't know, I guess this must be the oldest boat there is because it doesn't work.
Well, with just a few weeks to go before students return to the classroom on August 31st, government officials are taking a closer look at schools across the country to make sure they're ready for the new academic year. Education Minister Chester Cooper, Director of Education Dominique McCartney-Russell, and Minister for Grand Bahama Ginger Moxie, along with a delegation, visited 4 schools across Grand Bahama on Monday. Our News caught up with a group at the McLeanstown Primary School in East End, where officials inspected the condition of the school and discussed work needed ahead of the new school year. During our visit, we saw some cracking along parts of the structure. Cooper says the damage is a result of the building's exposure to salt and other environmental elements, but he says the school remains structurally sound and the necessary repairs will be carried out. The Education Minister says the tour also included Bartlett Hill Primary School and Holmes Rock Junior High School, where government is working to expand support for students with special educational needs. This as 2 special education units are being developed at each of those schools.
This is important to us because we acknowledge that there's a need here in Grand Bahama, as there is in many of the other islands of the Bahamas, for more special need capacity. The Beacon School is full to capacity, and therefore we're very focused on ensuring that those units are ready before school reopens. We then went on to the Jack Haywood High School, where we looked at some of the required repairs. They have some fairly significant issues there. For example, the plumbing and the gym. And we are going to ensure that the plumbing issues are rectified before school reopens. As for the gym, we'll speak to that at a later date.
Cooper says overall repair work is on track with additional preventative maintenance planned for schools throughout the academic year. The Director of Education also weighed in on government's preparations and says the focus is not only on the condition of school buildings, it's also on making sure students have the support they need for the new academic year.
We're focused on inclusive education. We want to ensure that every single child in our public education system, that their interests, their needs, their capabilities are being harnessed. We're focused also on ensuring that we have excellent teachers and leaders because, you know, the research says it, that the teacher has the greatest effect, the greatest impact on student learning, and certainly the school environment has a big impact as well. And so ensuring that we have excellent leaders, ensuring that we have excellent proficient classroom practitioners. Those are our goals as well.
All right, positive news for the island of Grand Bahama. Well, hot temperatures in the capital on this Tuesday. Meteorologist Greg Thompson is in the Weather Center with the latest. Greg, what can you tell us?
Yeah, thanks, Natalia, and a happy Tuesday evening, everybody. Warm on the outside right now with temperatures in the upper 80s. 88 degrees is our current temperature with a few clouds on the outside. The winds out of the east at 7 miles per hour, but those feels like temperature still feel very warm. Feels like 96 degrees on the outside. Satellite radar composite, rinse and repeat conditions across our area today. We still have that high pressure system in charge. Saharan dust invading the central and southeast Bahamas. Heat advisory still in place for most of the chain of islands, as well as we have our dust advisory, mainly for the central and southeastern islands, but that high will stay with us with the Saharan dust. Not expecting much in terms of any significant rainfall, so we're going to be dry and very warm for the next couple of days. That's a quick check on conditions around the island. Stick with us. We'll take a look at the tropics and your extended forecast when we come back.
Still to come on our news, we continue our Cable Bahamas' year-long leadership development program series, which focuses on the company's investment in preparing future leaders. And later, a long-standing Fox Hill tradition continued today with political leaders visiting churches in the Fox Hill community. And that's all coming up when our news returns.
From your first heartbeat.
Thank you, and the little guy's all set.
We've been here for you, by your side.
She's good.
Through every challenge, every milestone.
6 miles, hold it. This house will be yours someday.
Every triumph.
It'll be hers.
Covering, protecting, securing.
The insurance covered everything?
Here since 1899. Always here. Kalina, caring for you.
That part hard to get, you know.
Unless you go to wimauto.com.
Man, anybody get our website, man. How you know that's the right part?
On wimauto.com, you can enter the year, make, model, and engine size of your vehicle and choose the part that you need.
This is a Japanese car.
You can shop for that on our website.
What about chemicals?
Yep.
Car accessories?
Yep.
Tools?
Actually, yeah.
Plumbing, electrical, and grocery?
If we sell it, it's on our website. Don't worry, we don't have mechanics.
Oh, thank goodness.
Save time and shop with confidence with wimauto.com.
Celebrates the Bahamian spirit, from culture and craft to our reefs and jungle, preserving what's ours, shaping what's next. Like, it's in our hands.
On Monday, we introduced you to Cable Bahamas' year-long leadership development program and the company's investment in preparing future leaders. Tonight, in part 2 of our special series, Leading Forward, we explore one of the lessons participants say is already changing the way they lead. Candino Knowles reports.
Every leader gives directions, but what inspires people to follow? For Javier Bo, Director of B2B Sales, one of the biggest takeaways from Cable Bahamas' leadership development program has been learning that leadership begins long before the task itself.
So I believe that people act when they know what context is. I can give you a task, but if I give you the context behind it, then you know the why. Yeah. And so I believe that ensuring that your team members know why they're doing what they're doing, they will act with more purpose.
Around the room, conversations unfold from every angle. Participants compare experiences, challenge assumptions, share lessons from different departments and different islands. It's all part of Cable Bahamas' year-long leadership development program, where leadership isn't treated as a destination, but as a skill that's continually developed. Helping guide those discussions, international leadership consultant Ernesto Usha.
You might hire people because they're competent and develop them and all those kind of things. But one of the things that we see is that it's more about the commitment. It's about, so talking about those variables, it's about the ambition and the aspiration, but mainly the attitude. We say that in most of the jobs, even in Cable Bahamas and in most of the companies, if you have the right attitude, you're able to learn, you have the optimism, you have that commitment that is going to take you to different places. So you can learn. So we're less worried about the technical competencies. As a matter of fact, in this level, when we're talking about leadership, it's going to be less about how much you know from a technical aspect. It's about how are you going to be leading people.
And those conversations don't end when the session does. Participants say they're already thinking differently about the way they communicate with their own teams. For Dion Cox, outside plant supervisor for Luthra, one lesson stood above the rest.
Understanding the context of the information that we have as leaders to relay to our team members. Because if you don't understand what it is that you are to do, you won't be able to execute it. So for me, understanding the context, the why, the reasoning behind what we do as Cable Bahamians employees.
Different experiences, different leadership styles, different perspectives. Yet one idea continued to surface throughout the leadership development program, that leadership isn't simply about directing people, it's about creating understanding. And participants say that's a lesson they'll continue bringing back to their teams long after the sessions end. Reporting for our news, I'm Candino Knowles.
All right, thanks so much for that, Candino. And tomorrow in part 3 of Leading Forward, we meet participants with very different leadership styles and discover why authenticity, not personality, may be one of the defining qualities of an effective leader.
Coming up in sports, always a party when Buddy's back in Grand Bahama, always special to hear from the legends at Jeff Rogers Camp, and always a good time to win some hardware. That was from 3-on-3 basketball. I had a theme going with the always. Well, you get it, you understand.
Celebrates the Bahamian spirit, from culture and craft to our reefs and jungle, preserving what's ours, shaping what's next. Like, it's in our hands.
The Pink Place Independence, it's that time again. Yeah, sun's over. We got the colors for you to paint it right. We got the things that you need, you know. To paint the work of your dreams. Let's go on the gone one. People, yeah, we are equal. 21 senses, so high without faith.
Comfort Suites Paradise Island is the best kept secret in the Bahamas. Located directly next door to the Atlantis Resort, you'll receive all the privileges of an Atlantis guest with all the benefits of a Comfort Suite stay. Enjoy everything Atlantis has to offer, including Aquaventure Water Park, plus all the amenities of Comfort Suites. Free Wi-Fi, free breakfast daily, and kids stay, play, and eat free. Visit ComfortSuitesPI.com.
Welcome to Our Sports, presented by 10th Year Seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. Let's do show. Always ready to give back as much as he gives out buckets on the rare occasion when the Hawks ain't tripping. Anyway, Buddy Hield was back at home and back in his philanthropic bag. We know the story, but can never hear it enough because it seems surreal, from 8 Mile Rock to the NBA, and always back in that same community to make sure the next generation gets their shot. Buddy Hield was back at home with his annual basketball camp, continuing the work of his foundation to develop young student athletes. Hield continues to bring his knowledge and resources to the places that need it the most. The Buddy Hield Foundation has been running camps and clinics all across the Bahamas, but the 8 Mile Rock camp always feels like somewhat of a homecoming.
I love working with a group that's at the camp because you get to connect with them much more, and I've seen like a lot of familiar faces from like the past years, and I've watched them growing over the years. Some of them are playing my AU teams, some of them play on the national team, so it's been great.
Speaking of camps and giving back, the country's longest running hoops summer camp kept it going this year, and it's become a rite of passage to be able to learn from the stars that helped blaze the trail. The Jeff Rogers Summer Basketball Camp just celebrated year 38, and if that doesn't tell you this thing is a Bahamian institution, I don't know what will. Since 1987, the camp has been putting young hoopers through the work of the fundamentals and teaching them how to become better on and off the court. Some of the kids who once showed up to camp are now the ones running the camp. Mitch Johnson, Zane Knowles, Keno Burrows are just a few that have passed through the platform and have gone on to play professionally and at the national team level. Now they pass that knowledge on to the next generation. And what would the camp be without hearing from Michael Sweetbells Thompson and former NBA vet Muggsy Bogues? Thompson, of course, a two-time NBA champion and pioneer in the sport, went from the Bahamas to becoming the first foreign-born #1 overall pick in NBA draft history.
I look forward to this every summer, every off season. Ask Jeff when is the camp, find out the dates, because it is my duty to come back and talk to the kids and to inform them, to educate them about the history of basketball in the Bahamas. Not just what I've done, but what other players before me have done.
Now to some people that got it done on the court, 3x3 is a new wave of basketball, and we're getting in on the ground floor. Or maybe like the second or third floor, but the building ain't that high up yet. Silver on day 1, gold on day 2, that's how the teams flip the script. The Bahamas under-23 men's and women's team both walked away with gold at the CBC 3x3 Caribbean Cup in the Cayman Islands. The men were coached by Marvin Henfield, and the team features Stevanko Jacks, Michael Munnings, Woody Ching, and Keandre Robinson. They beat Jamaica 21-13, survived a 21-20 loss to the Cayman Islands, then finished the job with a 21-14 win over Cayman in the gold medal game. The women were coached by Donnie Culmer and had Chanel Stewart, Tania Kerr, Michelle Butler, and Jada Francis. They got their revenge too, destroying Cayman 21-7 for the gold medal after losing to them the day before. That'll do it for our sports. This is 10YS. I don't think we have to wait to see how this pans out. As a country, we should go all in on 3x3 basketball. Small population, different version of the game. Here's the thing, we go after this with the main roster. Send the big guns. Most Bahamian thing in the world, finding the loophole in the system and finding how it benefits us.
Still ahead on our news tonight, a long-standing Fox Hill tradition continued today with political leaders visiting churches in the community. And Greg is back with your extended weather when our news returns. Stay with us.
Bing bang bing. Bing bang bing. Ding ding bang. Bang bang bang. Bing bang bing. Bing bang bing. Ding ding bang. Bang bang bang. Bing bang bing. Bang bang. Bing bang bing. Bing bang bing. Ding ding bang.
I'm very excited, and I can't believe it. It's a dream come true. When she did call me yesterday about it, I didn't know what to believe. Thanks to Mr. Coleman and this whole staff for what they do, and making sure the customers are taken care of, making sure we enjoy the gaming they do give to us. Chances is the great house to play, even down to the staff, is perfect. You're going to marvel.
It only takes a second for things to go wrong. Are you prepared? Don't become a statistic. Follow these simple rules. Leave early, obey road signs, wear seatbelts, invest in hands-free devices, and don't drink and drive. I'm Inspector Gerard Cum of the Royal Bahamas Police Force, reminding you that road safety is no accident.
This is our news. Welcome back. Tropics, a little more active. We do have two systems. That third system we were talking about last evening, that's basically fallen apart. But the system out there we're going to continue to monitor is what the National Hurricane Center is now calling Invest 92, and they normally give it that title as the scenario that they're going to continue to monitor for some possible development over the next couple of days. All the models are continuing to keep the system moving towards the west and then eventually turning it more towards the west-northwest, and that will make it turn towards the northern Leeward Islands by the end of the week. It's quite a bit of time we have to watch this one, but the model's long range actually takes the system out in the open Atlantic and curves it before it gets to our neighborhood. But disorganized showers and thunderstorms associated with that third system that we were watching last evening falling apart, approaching the Leeward Islands, going to produce a couple of showers across that area. And then out in the open Atlantic, National Hurricane Center also watching an area up there for a low chance for formation, but that will race off towards northeast and into some cooler waters. Eventually, that system will fall apart by the end of the week. Closer to home, high pressure system in charge, Saharan dust invading the central and southeastern islands, keeping us rather dry, but a couple of spotty showers expected. We will continue these conditions for the remainder of the week, so don't expect much in terms of any rainfall. The heat will be with us, and that Saharan dust, so if you have respiratory issues, you may want to consider staying indoors or wearing a mask. Taking a look at the boating forecast for the northwest and central Bahamas tonight to tomorrow, east to southeasterly winds at 10 to 15 knot seas will be running 2 to 4 feet over open waters. High tide is at 7:48 tonight. The low tide takes place at 2:08 in the morning. Southeast Bahamas, we keep the caution flag in place. Winds have come down slightly easterly at 15 knots, but they will be gusting high at times. Seas running 3 to 6 feet over open waters. Here's a look now at your national forecast. In your extended forecast, those dry conditions continuing through the remainder of the week. Looks like it takes us into the weekend. The Saharan dust will stay with us. We get a second surge of Saharan dust coming on the weekend, so you may want to keep that in mind, but we don't see much in terms of any rainfall in the pattern, but those temperatures will start to climb to the mid-90s. Heat advisory for the remainder of the week likely, and those nighttime temperatures near the 80-degree mark. That's a look at our weather. Make it a safe night, everybody.
Thanks so much for that, Greg. Well, it's one of the biggest community celebrations on the local calendar, Fox Hill Day, and it's already in full swing. All day, Fox Hillians have been out celebrating their community culture and traditions with church services, vendors cashing in on the festivities, and festival goers already dancing in the street. And with the main event set for tonight, our Chinasa Outen takes us into the heart of the community.
The party may be tonight, but in Fox Hill, the celebration starts long before the sun goes down. Government officials toured the community, visiting churches and spending time with residents and children, all leading up to what's expected to be a lively night of food, music, and culture. And at Fox Hill Park, the excitement was already in the air. Vendors lined the streets, setting up their tents, stocking their stalls, and getting ready for one of the community's biggest nights of the year. For some Fox Hillians, this is more than just a night of celebration. It's a tradition they've been a part of for decades, one that brings family, friends, and the entire community together.
I born and grew up in Fox Hill, so I coming here from 1962.
Now, as you can see, the many vendors that are out here today gearing up for Fox Hill Day tonight. Many of you may see it as just another celebration, but they see it as a way to prepare their kids to go back to school, to pay another bill, and for many more economic benefits.
My family who out here now, they come out here to make a few extra dollars.
Chairman of the Fox Hill Day Festival Committee, Warren Davis, says that the economic boost is one of the festival's biggest benefits. And he says you don't have to run a full-scale business to get in on the action.
And we encourage all Fox Hillians to get involved in setting up a tent or just having a parking lot in their yards for people in the park, or just go in your yard and just set up a tent and start to sell some food, invite people to come about.
And as night falls, the energy is expected to go up another notch. Davis says the entertainment lineup will give festival goers plenty to look forward to, with music and performances expected to keep the crowd entertained throughout the night.
Tonight we have Mama D and Ralcon and the Porn Band will be on stage tonight, so it's going to be a grand time tonight on the stage.
Now the greasy pole is greased, the stage is set, and Fox Hill Day is ready to deliver another night of community, culture, and celebration.
So come on down and enjoy us, because it's going to be spectacular.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Chinasa Outen.
All right, spectacular. Thanks so much for that, Chinasa. If you want to see that story again, it's available now on ournews.bs. And with that, we thank you so much for joining us for Our News tonight on behalf of the entire team. I'm Natalia Hall-Thomas. We'll see you tomorrow night. Have a great evening.